Festival of Writing is a collaboration between the Polk County History Center and Southeastern University, and it was a concept or idea where we wanted to take the real items in the museum and present them to some of the creative writing students to see where their imagination took them. We always talk about perspectives, and you and I could go into an exhibit and see completely different things when we're in there. And so the idea was to kind of figure out what are some of these other perspectives maybe that we're missing in the exhibit, or that somebody maybe not from Polk County, which a lot of the students from Southeastern University are not from Polk County, could bring to the table. And then the collaboration just kind of grew naturally from there. This is our 4th year doing it, and I think we've seen some tremendous talent from some future, probably award-winning writers right here in Polk County.
I went to the museum pretty much looking for anything that could catch my eye. And right when I walked in on the left, they had Memories of Bone Valley. There's all this art of draglines, and they're drawn organically, like curved lines, not what metal should be doing, and they look like monsters. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, but obviously you can't write about the first thing you go to, so I looked through the rest of the museum, and there is an explanation on phosphate mining. And there's this super cool paragraph, it's a quote, about how when we were mining for phosphate, we were digging through prehistoric bones and then using those for food and fuel. And when I'm writing nonfiction especially, I'm looking for a seed of something fantastical or inherently cool in like the real world that I can then build a fully fantastical scene around, because I love fantasy and sci-fi. So when I hear that we built giant machines to dig up prehistoric animals and then turn them into food, that's cool. In the museum, they were describing phosphate mining and how the fossils got there, and they talk about how since Florida is peninsula, we have been flooded and then become land again over and over again, which means different ages of prehistoric creatures get beached there or just die there when it's land, and then you have sedimented layers of literally different eras on top of each other. And I thought that was super cool, because then you have like a physical pyramid of progress up through evolution, and then man with his own monster standing on top of them. I loved that.
What's unique about the History Center is that it is a public-facing building where students' work is out in the public. It's not in the university classroom. It's moving and showing and growing and sharing. And that's the piece I'm most proud of for them, is that they can put their work out there in the public and say, look at what I can do. I have 2 mottos. One is be authentic, because there's not another you under the sun. There's not another you with your experiences and your ideas. And that's where the unique voice comes through, and that's what separates us from other writers. And you can see the uniqueness of a writer's voice when you read A New Mammoth. That one is a very unique voice. And the other motto I have is you must write what must be written, and only you know the answer to that. And I encourage them to do just that, whatever they need to say, whatever they need to write. So navigating the visual aspect. Many students loved the idea of creating their own visual art to go with their words and creating a hybrid piece for the poster. And there's no right or wrong, it's just what can you do? And they surprised themselves.
This is the first time I've had a source material, a real source material that I'm diving into and looking all around and deep diving into, and then making something out of it. The real challenge is all about taking what really happened and then either using cool metaphor or like stretching what vocabulary is appropriate to give it the vibe of fantasy or sci-fi. Professor Forrester especially is very adamant about making a space in all of her classes where we can express ourselves truthfully and really realize our visions. And she's been every step of the way. She fosters and she nurtures, makes us do what we want to do.
One of the interesting things is there are some topics and themes that have some sort of universal appeal. We'll see a lot of people write about women's history, which of course is close to my heart, and I love to see that. But what's more interesting is seeing what little nuggets that maybe I forgot was in the museum. Oh wow, yeah, we do have that appeal to that. The best part about this collaboration is that it doesn't end there at the end of the month. So then it moves over to Southeastern University, and even though the students can't see the actual artifacts, they hopefully get inspired to go, I'm gonna go down to Bartow and learn a little more about Polk County's history because this story or this poem was so interesting, I need to learn more.
I am a creative writer and I'm an educator, and I keep doing what I do because of students like Quinn, because he has a unique voice, and anything I can do to help nurture that and encourage him and allow him the space to do what he needs to do with his voice and seek out opportunities for him, that's a legacy worth leaving.
The Festival of Writing is on display at the Polk County History Center now through April the 7th. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 to 5, and it is always free to come by. And if you miss it while it's at the History Center, it's going to move on over to Southeastern University, and you can catch it on display there.